Good morning, students. I welcome you all for today's session. Today we are going to begin chapter 3 of history subject, that is ruling the countryside. Let's begin with the topic. The company becomes the Diwan. On 12 August 1765, the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II granted the Diwani rights of Bengal to East India Company. This was granted after Battle of Buxar. This was assigned by Shah Alam II and Robert Clive. Now the company became the chief financial administrator of Bengal. When the company achieved the right of Diwani, the responsibility of administering the land and organizing its revenue also came on the shoulders of the company. Not only this, it had to ensure that it could buy the products it needed at cheap rates and sell them at higher rates. Over the years, the company had also learned how to play safe in an unknown land. Now, here what I mean is that company had to pacify those who were the early rulers of the countryside. It was not possible to eliminate them completely, so the company did the following. Company organized its revenue resources to yield crops it needed, colonizing the countryside. That's what we are going to study further in this chapter. Now let's move on to the topic revenue for the company. Though the company became Diwan of Bengal province, still it was working as a trading company. It was not interested in setting up any regular system of assessment and collection of revenue. Their main aim was to increase revenue so that they have plenty of money to buy cotton and silk. But the prices of the goods had increased so far. Now, as we have studied in previous chapters, that earlier the company was dependent upon the inflow of gold and silver from Britain for purchasing goods in India. But after 1765, things changed, and now the revenue from Bengal was enough to purchase goods. But here also a big problem arose. What was this problem? The economy of Bengal faced a deep crisis because of the following reasons. Artisans left Bengal as they were being forced by the company to sell their products at cheaper rate. Peasants were unable to pay the heavy dues laid on them. Agriculture was collapsing. Big famine of 1770 hit Bengal. This killed about 10 million population there, washing out about 1/3 of the population of Bengal. As such incident took place, which ruined the economy heavily, the company then felt that the need of improving the agriculture. Now let's talk about the need to improve agriculture. Most of the company officers were of the view that there was a great need of investing in land and agriculture in order to improve it, because the fall in agriculture was resulting into great loss of revenue to the company. Therefore, after a long thinking, in 1793, the company took a decision of introducing the revenue collection method known as the permanent settlement. As per the settlements, the Rajas and Talukdars were now known as Jamindars, and they had to collect the rent from peasants, which was fixed permanently by the Britishers. The main aim behind this was that Jamindars will only pay the fixed amount to the Britishers since the demand. The main aim behind this was that the Jamindars will only pay the fixed amount to Britishers, since the demand of revenue will not increase, and will invest into the improvement of agriculture to generate extra income for themselves. It did not go as per the plan. The following problem arose. Let's see the problem. The permanent settlements, however, did not prove to be that useful as thought by the company. Soon it was discovered that Jamindars were not investing in the improvement of land, because the rent fixed was so high that it became impossible for the Jamindars to pay it off. As a result, they were deprived of Jamindars. Even the Jamindars were also put on auction by the company. Meanwhile, something new was noticed by the company, that the situation was changing as the prices of the goods were increasing, and slowly but gradually the agriculture was also expanding. This led to benefit of Jamindars, but for the company it remained same as the revenue was fixed. Even the Jamindars were not keen to invest in improvement. Increasing and slowly but gradually, the agriculture was also expanding. This led to benefit of Jamindars, but for the company it remained same as the revenue was fixed. Even the Jamindars were not keen to invest an improvement for agriculture, because they were gaining a lot without putting any efforts in the form of the rent that they obtained from the peasants. On the other hand, the cultivators found it extremely oppressive, as they had to pay very high rent to Jamindars, though they did not have ownership over the land that they worked on. Now that we know the problem being faced by the company regarding generation of revenue, we should now move on to the solution it came up. A new system is devised. By early 19th century, many of the company officials felt that It was impossible for the company to survive on the fixed amount of rent that it was getting, because now the expense of the company had increased. They decided to develop a new method of revenue collection. Mahalwari system. In 1822, an Englishman called Holt McInnes felt that village was an important social institution for North India society and needed to be preserved. Therefore, he developed a new method of revenue collection known as Mahalwari. In Mahalwari system, the following steps were taken. Officials went to different villages for inspection of lands. Fields were measured. Customs and rights of the people were recorded. Estimated revenue of each plot within the village was added up to calculate the custom and right of the people recorded. Estimate revenue of each plot within the village was added up to calculate revenue that each village, that is Mahal, had to pay. The revenue was not permanently fixed. It was to be revised periodically. Instead of zamindars, the village headman was made possible of collecting and paying the revenue to the company. While Mahalwari system of revenue collection was introduced in the northern part of the country, another method came into use in southern part of India. This was famously known as Rohitwari system or Monroe system. So let's know more about Rohitwari system. Or Monroe system. While Mahalwari system of revenue collection was introduced in the northern part of the country, another method came into use in the southern part of India. This was famously known as the Rohitwari system or Monroe system. Now let's know more about what is the Monroe system. In southern parts of India, also Britishers felt that permanent settlement method was not beneficial enough, and so Thomas Monroe developed a new method of revenue collection known as Rohitwari system. This system was actually based on a method which was applied by the Captain Alexander Reid on a small scale. This system was actually based on a method which was applied by Captain Alexander Reid on a small scale in some of the areas which were won over by the company after defeating Tipu Sultan. Rights here refers to the cultivators, as there was absence of zamindars in South India. Both Reid and Monroe decided to directly deal with the Rohits or the cultivators who were tilling the land from generations. Under this, the fields of rice were carefully measured and assessed. Now, let's talk about next topic. All was not well. Under the Royal system, peasants were charged with a very high rate of tax. They started deserting the countryside as it became impossible for them to pay tax. Many of the company officers were of the view that the new system of collection will help peasants in becoming rich, but this never happened. Britishers were not solely dependent on the revenue generated from Indian territories in the form of taxes they levied, but they also decided to use the crops of the country in order to earn profit in the trading business. This we know, Britishers were not solely dependent on the revenue generated from Indian territories in the form of taxes they levied, but they also decided to use the crops of the country in order to earn profit in the trading business. This we will study further. So students, with this topic we close up here. We'll talk more about the same chapter in the next session. Thank you all.